90 keywords. So looking at a drop less than 15 million hits from SEO. We saw the traffic went up from the tail, from not tremendously, from about 13.5 million to a drop of about 14 million. So not a huge jump in the traffic that went up. But what was really interesting is a nice drop in how many phrases were actually driving that traffic. About 15% less, individual long tail keyword phrases. So in terms of that variety, it dropped off, but the traffic went up. So again, for most sites, they're getting their traffic from a nice variety of keywords. I don't expect there to be much impact in terms of your traffic. I mean, it's going up, but again, there's 3 weeks of data at specific sites. That might not go up for everybody, but the phrases themselves, you'll probably see less variety in terms of the phrases. Let's look at rich media, and rich media is something that, especially video, is one of the things that I think is very interesting, even before Google Instant was introduced, that it's kind of difficult to figure out how to increase CTR in the search results page, except if you've got a rich media result. Video results, at least from other research that we've done, by and far get about 250% higher click-through rate than regular text results, regardless of position. So it's interesting to see, okay, now that Instant is there, what kind of change are we going to see with Instant? Is it going to push people more to video results? Because as you start typing, you get that screen coming up in front of you for results, and what's going to jump out to you from those results are probably images and video and news and products and stuff like that. And so we saw a nice jump, about a 28% boost from video 3 weeks before Instant, video 3 weeks after Instant. Again, it's big. It applies to a subset of sites that have video results. That obviously you've got video sitemap, where you've got the right tagging on the page to get those videos to show up as video. But it's something nice to see that if you're already getting that kind of boost that you get from video, you should see a larger boost now from Instant. The last thing I want to talk about is the proof paradox. We're actually talking with Othar before, and he suggested just let us turn it off if you want to turn it off. But right now, even if you turn Safe Search off, you can't type a phrase that Google thinks is naughty and see instant results. And so the question was, how is that going to affect traffic for sites? Is there going to be any effect? And the effect of it was this. It's a really interesting effect, very surprising effect. We have a bunch of what we call safe for work clients that do rank for these type of mature terms, and across the board they all saw jumps. And I called a couple friends who also work on large sites that are again safe for work but cater to a certain demographic and rank for a lot of these type of keywords. And they said the same thing. Can't quote them, but they're seeing nice jumps in that type of traffic. And if we did like one thing, keywords that are based off of the word sex, we saw a 33% increase in 3 weeks before and afterwards. And that's looking at probably about 5 or 6 million hits. For some sites, it's a big driver of traffic. And so for a while, I couldn't figure out why this was. I thought maybe you'd be typing a search in Instant, and the search would be Google would consider it, kind of a borderline search. Could be safe for work, could be not, and show results that wouldn't come up if you typed more. But kind of doing that testing, we didn't really see it happen. I think what happened is this, and I'd love to test it, or if anybody there's a good way of testing it. Eye tracking. Basically, once you start typing a word, even start typing a couple letters that Google sees as heading in the direction that they're not going to display results, they stop displaying the results and they tell you to press enter to search. And I think people just might be used to obeying Google, and it says press enter to search, they press enter, and they're kind of stopping their query in the middle. And with those earlier queries, you get a lot more of the safe for work sites come up. So it's just something interesting that we saw more and more of these searches driving traffic, independent of all the other things that we saw in terms of video results or long-term compression or anything like that. So what else? I think there's, like everybody else, I guess I have to say something about PPC. I think again with this long tail compression, you might see the same type of thing, which is that some of these more obscure phrases, which again were easier to rank for from an SEO side, but they probably also have lower CPCs from a paid side, they're going to start dropping off. and more traffic is going to come from slightly more expensive phrases. So I think that PPC costs might rise. Again, not in the PPC business. I've been asking some people and checking some people at the show. Said to stop by and see what their data is. So far, they said I didn't see much change. So I'll wait to see there, and there's going to be a session later. So hopefully somebody will mention something about it. And the other thing is you can do really great keyword research with Instant that you couldn't have done with the previous tools, and getting an idea of how a user is reaching your site, and at what point, how much they have to type before they start getting to your site. And think about it, now RankAbove is kind of like a Google Instant score. How many words did you have to type, and how many positions down, or how many characters, and how many positions down? You're both RH, so like a 6 or something. But, kind of a way of thinking about, okay, how much is Google pushing people towards a keyword? All right, so we talked about a lot of stuff. I think a lot of what you can do from that is kind of apparent, but just to go through briefly, definitely look at what's going on your specific site. See if any of this is true, see if it's not. Look at how your traffic has changed. Research these keywords using Google Instant tries our products. Research your keywords using Google Instant, and any low popularity terms that weren't driving traffic before, they kind of dropped off now. So focus on their more popular variants that you can still get a lot of traffic. Again, stuff like moving your page 2 results to page 1 is good. And if you've got like videos on your site and you never bothered to to put in the sitemaps or the micro formatting or anything to make sure they come up as video results in the Universal, now's the time to do it. They're getting an extra boost now because they already do better. If you haven't done it yet, you should do more. And obviously, I thought there were more changes. I said there are more changes. There was already the keyboard nav that went into effect. So stay tuned. Things are going to change. This data is very early, and we're going to get more research going forward. Just quickly show you the data that we looked at. I looked at the 3 weeks before and after Instant went into effect on September 8th. So we didn't really see any of the effect of exactly 3 weeks later is when you launched the keyboard nav. So I don't have any data on the keyboard yet. It was that day. So nothing from there. About 60 million hits from SEO, from about 850,000 keywords, and tracking positions, ranking for about 10,000 of them to see which ones stayed the same, so we can really compare the data. And obviously, it comes with a big caveat. It hasn't even been a month yet. We spent a lot of time talking about Google Instant, even though it's just started. More and more data is going to come out. Adoption is growing. These new changes like keyboard navigation are going to continue to affect things. And just lastly, if you want more, feel free to send me an email or talk to me afterwards or anything, or visit our site. Thanks very much.